Hi, welcome back to Hack a Week, part 2 of the Ludwig Speed King rebuild. The pedal this time, there's a lot of play down here in the pedal on the footboard and that sheet metal piece. Tons of it, and it's all because of the worn out bushings and stuff that are in here. And I've got this quickie fix I want to do today, plus I just want to take this apart and see just how worn this all is. But I have to grind this away. This is like a peened over pin right here. You can see it right there. Hello autofocus. Anyway, there's a pin. Yeah, I'm gonna grind away the head of that pin so that I can pull this thing apart. Safety glasses. Hearing protection. No wait, that's head protection. Hearing protection. Voila. Let's take a look at what we've got. That's all that's left of the bushings. That's not much. But at least they were there, and hopefully they saved the holes in this somewhat. They look pretty elongated. So it's going to be bore this out to the proper size for some new bushings probably. A little trip to the hardware store and I scored this stuff. A oil-light bushing, 1/4 inch inside diameter, a stainless steel 1/4 inch bolt, bushings slide right over that, and a collar with an Allen set screw in it, just because I don't like the way the nylocks look on the end. And with this I can just put it right where I need to put it on this piece across here, and then one end will just put the collar, and I can just cut off the excess and it'll just be a nice looking piece. Just got out my caliper to size this up, and the batteries are dead. So anyway, caliper with just lines on it, but it doesn't matter. All I gotta do is size this bushing to a drill. So I just do that, lock it down, and check it to a drill till I find the closest one. Too loose. Just right. Alright, 3/8 it is. The pedal at this end seems to be 5/16. Still, it's not too bad. It's got just a little bit of play in it. That's sloppy on that end. But I can use this to align this in the vise on the drill press to make sure that I stay nice and parallel when I drill that. Alright, got the 5/16 drill bit in there. Used it to align this. Got enough throw there. I can take the drill bit out. Need to clamp that down. Now let's see if I can get my 3/8 drill bit in there. Oh man, just barely. Alright, let's see if we can drill this thing out. Hello. There we go. Drilled out to 3/8. What do the bushings do? Ooh, looks like they're going to press fit in there nice. I think I'm going to take one of these bushings and cut it, and then I can use part of it on the outside on the footboard part. Yeah. Put the bushing on the leftover pin. So I got something to squeeze against in the vise here, and I won't crush the bushing. Let's see if I can cut this with a metal cutting blade on a coping saw. Yes, this is working nicely. There we go. After a bit of filing and cutting, these are ready to install. There we go. After a bit of filing and cutting, these are ready to install. Now let's see, I'm going to press these in. I've got a 1/4 bolt. Let's see if I can, let me just do this. I'm going to just insert the thing onto, put the bushing on the bolt, and we're going to drop that in. I got another washer that'll go on the bottom and push evenly on it. So we'll go with that. And then this other nut. Alright, let's press a bushing. This is how I put the bushings in the swing arm on the CB750 with a big giant piece of all thread. That's going in there nicely. And that's it. It's bottomed out right there. Perfect. Just enough poking out. That takes care of the foot pedal. Onto the footboard. I don't think the wear on the footboard is a big factor right now. If I put a 1/4 inch bolt in there, sure, I got play. I got a little bit. But drilling this out to a 3/8 bushing here would take away all of this section, which is not a good idea. I'd get really, really thin on here. But what I'm going to do is at a later time bore this out to 3/8, but do it on my vertical mill where I've got control over where I make that hole, and I can make that hole offset a bit, like so. So anyway, I'll offset it. But for now, I'm going to just put it together like that. So you got an idea, at least from all of this, how to do the bushings on the footboard. And then you could also do this other little doodad that I came up with, the collar instead of a bolt on the end. So if I just mark that right now, let's see, I got a file here that'll work. Mark the edge of this where that collar is. And we'll cut it off. This is cut down to size. Here's all the parts lined up. Let's put this thing back together. You must experiment with this little heel pad sometime, because you can just loosen the screw in that washer and flip it around the other way, and then it stays on the floor. It stays independent. I guess it's maybe if you're a heel down player and you want to tuck right up in on it, your heel would rest on that. I've got to try it sometime. Set it up in both ways and just see how it feels. I like the idea of that. That just looks nice. All you need to maintain it is this one Allen wrench. Got this little part machined out to a 3/8 diameter now, and I can put in my bushings. Should be able to just press these in with some vice grips. Get these adjusted up a bit. This ought to work to just press them right in there, because they should fit pretty flush. There we go. It's in. Well, since I glass beaded everything else, I might as well glass beat the footboard, all these pieces. Everything is now glass beaded, including the floor plate here too. I'll probably paint this stuff later, but for right now I just want to get it assembled again. I'm going to put a tiny bit of this graphite lube on these bushings before we put it all back together. Get the little collar on here. Yeah, this ended up a little bit short now, but that's okay. You can just squeeze it together, tighten that up right there. Flip this back over and put this goofy washer swung back around so that it holds that heel plate in place. Gotta try that sometime the other way. What do we got now? We got 0 play now. It's almost lined up perfect. It's close enough. Let's get it mounted up to the floor plate here. Nice. There we go. One last detail. I am going to go ahead and tap the threads at the bottom of this, clean them out anyway, with a 1/2 by 20 tap. I bought one the other day. Get the screws pulled out of there first. You should be able to just run this in here by hand initially. I prefer to do that. That way I can feel it and make sure I'm not cross-threading it, which would be super easy to do. This stuff is really soft compared to this. I've actually got a set of sockets here that fit the square end of different size taps. Makes things go pretty quickly. Let's put just a little bit of some just household 3-in-1 oil. 5 and 12, 10 and 6, whatever numbers you want. WD-40, I guess. Whatever, a little bit of lube. We got a little bit of junk out of there. Basically, we were out to clean up the threads. Give this just a little bit of parts cleaner up in there. Rinse out the threads. That's it. That's all the mods. And it works super smooth. There's no play in it anymore. It doesn't rock side to side. It should work out really well. I'm going to get this mounted back on the drum and see how it works. I really like the look of this down here. It's just a nice clean setup with a pin through there and a collar on the other end. It worked out really well. And I do like the glass bead look. That's pretty neat too. I may just give this a whole thing a coat of matte finish clear, other than the chrome bits, just to keep the corrosion factor down, I guess. But it looks fine just like it is. Get it on the drum, see how it works. Well, there it is. Nice and smooth, doesn't wiggle around. I did notice that if you were to put this whole thing on its own floor plate, anchor it all down, you'd avoid some of this business going on. But I'm no John Bonham, but let's try it out. Yeah, sloppy, but whatever, I'm having fun. All right, so part 2 of the Speed King refurbish all done, and maybe I'll put a floor plate on and anchor it all down at some point. Might be a little better, but it's awesome. It just does what you want. You just bam, it's just an extension of your foot. And I'm sure the more I get the muscle memory going in my leg, the more I can do the little drop and then stomp thing, and you get a double kick out of that. There's a cool tutorial I watched. It's kind of like your foot's off, so your heel up playing, tap and then stomp, so you get ba-boom, ba-boom, like that. And if you really work at it, you can start getting triplets. So lots of practice ahead. But anyway, that was fun. I hope that helped you out in restoring your Speed King. Like I said in the last video, there's people out there, if you go search on the internet, who refurbish these things and just absolutely love them. On Facebook, there's the Ludwig Speed King Preservation Society page. Check that out. I'm on there. I guess that's about it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the donations. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and until next time.